Tomorrow you all are coming up out of here. And there was that right now deliverance. And they got to the sea where they couldn't go across because the sea blocked them from access to the other side. And the army of Egypt was chasing them and coming after them. But when they moved in faith, God said, let's part the sea. And so right then, but it was God's time, they walked across even on dry land. And so they ended up walking around in the wilderness because they cast away their confidence in God. What am I trying to say? Don't cast away your confidence that God has forgotten about you. You may have been going through what I call a learning season. Don't you cast away your confidence. You begin to paint the picture of what you're believing God for. Now is the time to work on your faith. Now is the time to begin. I'm seeing my breakthrough happen. Really now? Yeah, God is real. I have come to the conclusion that my God is real and I trust him. Can't nobody tell me that God. Nobody can tell me that God doesn't heal. Hey, every time I get up and look in the mirror, I say, can't nobody tell me anything about God. I know God for myself. Yeah. So the life I choose in faith now is more empowering. I get more out of life now by just having confidence. God's got this. I know. That's why I tell you all the time, remember who you are. I am a child of the living God. Therefore, I'm with God's wisdom. I know who I am. I know whose I am. And God with me is more, much, much, much more than this against me. Yeah. So in the Bible, success is defined as, say, living faithfully. I'm trying my best to live faithfully in God's will. Say every day. Say every day. Why is that so important? I tell all the young people, I tell anyone that'll listen to me, be the best you that you can be today. Because the best you is real good. Put a smile on your face. I say it with me. Say the best me. Say it one more time for me, please. The best me is real good. I don't have to be somebody else. When I first started preaching, Montel, I tried to preach like somebody I'd seen growing up. You know, I watched my granddaddy preach, and I'm going to be like my granddad. I'm going to preach just like granddad. That didn't work. Then I'm looking out there and I tried to be like some of the TV preachers. No, that didn't work either. And my wife said, I don't know who you are. One minute you sound like so-and-so. The next minute you sound. She said, you know, and I went to the Lord and said, you don't have to be anybody else. I called you. I equipped you. I'm empowering you to be you. You see, that's why I say the best you is pretty good. See, some people try to play basketball like so-and-so. Well, I can't nobody be like Mike but Mike. I went over somebody. Some of y'all don't know who Mike I'm talking about. I'm talking about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. So I prioritize obedience to God. Because I read this text one time. It says, if you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. If you willing and obedient, I can be obedient, Lord. Amen. Well, what does the Bible say? Because I need to move on. I'm try to give y'all something in a timeline, because some people will get up and turn this off if it takes too long. And I want to get something in you that'll help you tomorrow. Amen. The word of the Lord tells me in Matthew chapter 25, I don't have to be like anybody else. And Jesus gives us quickly a quick example of I've got noted verse 14 through 18. And Jesus gives this analysis. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. The 15th verse, it says, unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. Likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. Say, I don't have to be anybody else. I just got to be the best me that I can be. One he gave 5. One he gave 2. And one he gave 1 according to their ability. Say, I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to try to be like anybody else. I just got to be the best me. If you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. And so the one that got 1 didn't do anything. But he had talent to deal with the 1. He could have at least gone to the market and made 1 more. But he took the approach of, I'll just hold on to it. And when he come back, I'll give him back what he gave to me. Is that faith? No, say, no way. It's not faith. You see, what God requires of me is for me to focus on his purpose for my life. Your success, my success, is dependent upon me focusing on God's purpose for my life. See, I'm his child, and each one of my children, each one of my grandchildren, they have different gifts, talents. And so I don't expect them to all act alike, because they don't. Lord help. But I know them. And God knows me better than I know myself. So since he knows me, he must think I have the ability and gifts to pastor you. To come in prepared, to do my part, to bring you a word from the Lord that will help you in your life's journey. And I'm here today to inform you. All you've got to do is focus on God's purpose for you. I don't need to look to the right or to the left and try to be somebody else. I just need to be the best that I can be. And I work on picturing myself achieving what God has put in my heart to do. I'm going to give you quick faces on this. There was a guy by the name of Elijah. And if you're taking note, you can do a track on 1 Kings chapter 17 and chapter 18 and even into 19. But Elijah was that dude